In the United States, the funeral of Tyre Nichols, the 29-year-old black man who died after a beating by police in Memphis, has taken place. Vice President Kamala Harris was among the thousands attending the service at the Mississippi Boulevard Christian Church. Following Tyre Nichols' death, 5 officers, all of them black, were promptly charged with murder, with additional police and staff fired in recent days. Our North America editor Sarah Smith was at the service.
The grief was overlaid with anger, as mourners celebrating the life of Tyre Nichols also railed against the injustice of his death.
I can't speak for everybody in Memphis. I can't speak for everybody gathering. But for me, I believe if that man had been white, you wouldn't have beat him like that night.
America's first black vice president demanding Congress pass police reform legislation.
And when we look at this situation, this is a family that lost their son and their brother through an act of violence at the hands and the feet of people who had been charged with keeping them safe.
Tyre Nichols' family want to remember a young man who was a passionate skateboarder. They say he had a beautiful soul and his mum's name tattooed on his arm.
I see the world showing him love and fighting for his justice. But all I want is my baby brother back.
Even if the legal reforms being demanded today do come into force, the sad truth is no one here believes that this is the last time a funeral will be held for an unarmed black person killed by the police in America. Will this finally bring about change, do you think? Bring about the law change?
We tried to make it change happen. Change doesn't come, just drops out the sky. It comes from the ground up. We got to keep fighting.
The 5 policemen who assaulted Tyre Nichols, who are all now facing charges of second-degree murder, are all black. Amber Sherman, who's spent years campaigning for police reform, says she's not surprised.
Yeah, the system of policing is inherently white supremacist, racist, and anti-black.
But these were black officers that were involved.
The fact that someone who is black joined that system doesn't mean that they're gonna remember that they're black or they're gonna put that first. They put being an officer first.
The brutal death of Tyre Nichols has shocked America and reignited the debate about racial justice, with talk of change and reform, but little hope that anyone can truly say this will never happen again. Now, there is a bill in Washington which aims to try and increase police accountability. It's named after George Floyd, but it's stalled in Congress because it can't get enough support from Republicans. Democrats are now saying they want to introduce a new clause to that bill when it comes back to Congress. They want to introduce the Tyre Nichols clause, and that would compel police to intervene if they see fellow officers assaulting a suspect. But like so much proposed reform in America, unless all of this can get support from both political parties, then it simply cannot pass through Congress and it cannot become the law.